Okay, we're gonna make a video today about how just being at the West End Rec Center sauna tonight was just unbelievable. Like, I'm just such a screenwriter. I'm just such a storyteller. I just absorb, and I'm just such a digital audio software workstation. I'm just a workstation. I'm just a digital workstation. But what I'm getting at is that the fact that walking in after the gym, right? I'm walking in. I end up running into my neighbor. So I shook his hand. I said, "Hey, neighbor, what's happening?" He's walking out, and basically, I met the wife, Ashley, and yeah, that's the story there. But I said, "Hey, my name is Luke." We just chatted real quick. She made a funny joke about, like, you probably only always ever see me in you know, yelling at the kids to get off the road. So I met them walking in. It's pretty cool, whatever, right? Like, see my neighbors, cool, great, walking in, great. Getting into the sauna, right? It's like, he's in there, the guy trying to, like, walking into the West End. I'm imagining, right, as a screenwriter, from like some area around the perimeter of the building, right? There's cameras, there's angles, there's perspectives of me walking into the building. And what happened in my mind tonight was like audio voiceover, some like systematic thinker walking into the building. Walking into the building. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, that was in my mind as I was walking into the building. There's like a camera pointed at me, an angle, just like casual type of thing, but focused in on me, kind of. And I walk in, I run into my neighbors. I just had that quick interaction. My neighbors actually have had cops to their house a couple times. These neighbors in particular, and I would never even really have talked to them, but I guess kind of he saw me grow up a little bit. His sons, I guess, were my age. It's like, I'm not sure where they're at now, and I'm just not sure what's going on there, but nonetheless, he goes to my gym. I see him there. He's working hard, and independent contractor, I believe. Yeah, basically, like trying to write to this, right? Like writing this is important. And I see it all happening at once, kind of, right? Like, we can go from like, it all ties in my, like, just ideas of the project, but the project is the futuristic golf course. It's like the futuristic recreation centers. Here's a fucking crazy idea. Alright, crazy idea is you park cars on top of the building. Like, think about the building, right? Think about the building. And then all of the space around the building, parking lot, cement, gravel spaces. Certainly. But what about on top? And you use that vertical height, horizontal space over the building, on top of the building. Obviously, you're gonna need the building roof to be made for the weight of cars and the traffic and the buses and everything and the trucks. But what I'm getting at is like space usage. Because what's the top of the roof for? Just to filter down rain? Like anyways. Thinking about big buildings being used for, like, what if you can have some sort of ramp or some sort of like ramping system. And traffic's such a headache, but systematic thinker walking in and go to the sauna and in the sauna we were talking about death tonight. We were just talking about, like, in my mind, like, the one guy, he is trying to get his he's trying to get his whatchamacallit? He's trying to get his license to become a workplace injury lawyer. Anyways, like, a lot's going on. He says, shit's so hard, like, lots going on. Like, you can try, he's like, you can tell he's like trying, he's got like 5 kids or something like that. And he's like an immigrant, and like, he's had an injury recently himself. And just like, there's so much to capture, there's so much to write about. And it's just such a story I'd like to document and tell. And he's lying there, I walk in, he's, hey buddy. Like, using the techniques of like voiceover narration and legitimate, you know what I mean? Like, interview, like, there's so many styles that are just collage. And this idea that I have, but he's like, it's so hard. It's like just a lot of reading. He's going over all the chapters. You know what I'm saying? Like 700 pages. All the chapters for what his license test coming up. Whether that's a bar exam or not, I think it is. But the point is, like, show this guy's story also in real time. Tell his story. It's like, and then once he gets his license, if he gets his license, imagine that, how cool that is. Imagine what this project would be then. But the thing is, like, how do you record in the sauna without having your equipment, recording audio equipment, just burn? and become so hot. So that's a question I gotta research. Please, AI Gemini, help me come up with these solutions as to what technology to get, where to get it, on a budget, on an independent budget, so that I can simply ask permission and then record audio. At the same time, I really need to bring this idea and concept to somebody that's done something like this. But at the same time, it's like, what the fuck? I just want to do it myself. Anyways, we're talking about that and shit. And anyways, Zarko. It's like that's like a sequence. So it's kind of like sequence. I'm getting out of my car. It's almost like I'm coming from Fit for Less, maybe. I'm just like driving, going over the bridge past the manor, Sleeman's old house, the Mr. Sleeman's old house where they used to do prohibition, beer smuggling, and they do it through the church. And of course, I go to the Basilica of Our Lady Immaculate, and that's where exactly they would run the booze. They would run the booze, hypothetically, and there's tunnels that connect Frank's and this and that and this and that. So almost it's a cool idea to get some shots of me at the Basilica, or just like, it's almost like, I'm trying to find a way to describe this. It's almost like I'm the bookmark. I myself am the bookmark, but I'm not the focus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really important due to the fact that I'm keeping track of the pages and where I'm leaving off and whatnot. Like, I'm kind of just journeying through this motion picture as the bookmark. So I'm keeping everything kind of in check, kind of fluent. That's an interesting way to look at it, as if I'm the bookmark. You know what I'm saying? So just to think about it like that, it's interesting. As like a young guy, systematic thinker who uses AI and shit. But anyways, sequence my drive from the gym to the West End. Sequence walking into the West End. Sequence meeting my neighbor. Sequence the memory of my neighbor. Be vague. Snippets of like police cars and like yelling and screaming, and a wife and a husband, and like just fucked up shit, and police sirens and lights and whatnot. Like kind of like a blur, like a fucking horrific memory flashback as I'm interacting with them. It's like sequence again, the interaction. You know what I mean? Walking in, then, you know what I mean? Sequence getting into the sauna. You know what I mean? Sequence like my perspective. Sequence my perspective. My one friend, that the gentleman who's trying to get his license. Sequence all of that. Break that down. Right, like we talked about. And then in comes tonight Zarko. Like another regular bald-headed Where's he from? Iran. He's Iranian. Smaller man. Iranian. Bald hair. Bald head. Has lived in Poland. He's been all over. He works for Air Canada. He's 78, turning 79. Still very young at heart. And but anyways, he like says, in the last month there's been 6 people that died. 5, 6 people that died, and he walks us through each one. He walks us through each death. He talks about, he lists their names and whatnot, and then it describes how they died. Meanwhile, he just finished swimming. We're there cooking in the sauna. People are just out there swimming laps in the lanes. And you know what I'm saying? People are walking back and forth, lifeguards and whatnot. It's a rec center. We're by the pool. We're at the sauna. And then we're talking about death and stories about death. And he goes on and shares some pretty detailed, interesting stories that I can't replicate because they're his words. And he's a good storyteller. And yeah, it was pretty crazy to hear. And we all kind of said, like, I was pretty quiet, but they were saying, which is the bookmark part of things, right? They're all saying, like, yeah, death chooses us. Yeah, death doesn't know age. Death doesn't know young, doesn't know old. Humans are very sensitive. Humans are very fragile. And the gentleman who was trying to get his license for the bar exam and become a lawyer, he shared a story how his sister had a heart attack or a stroke and died. And I remember him telling me that like a month or two ago. And so it's like a topic. It's a pretty big topic, I guess, is death. And I guess it really does make sense. And honestly, that seems to be like that could be the glue, is death. It could be the glue. Like, I'm the bookmark in a sense, and it's like the glue is death. I'm driving, and it's like all of the vagueness and ambiguity, becoming healthy. It's like, yeah, maybe I could be doing a lot more because I'm young, you know what I mean? And like, we talked a little bit about isolation, and we talked about in Australia there's melanoma, and we talked about how white man, it's like melanoma in Australia, it's like colon cancer in North America. And I'm just always sitting in there, and Tuesday and Wednesday nights the Aquafit ladies come in, they talk about stuff, and they're always chatting about certain things, and it's all public health related in the sauna, in the public rec center, you know what I mean? The health and wellness recreation center. Topics are like health and wellness. The characters are legitimate, they're real, they're authentic, and topic is death, low key. And I don't know, living, you know what I mean, life, living, how to live. And shit, thinking about how I used to smoke weed and just go to the sauna. I would drive, you know what I mean, I'd walk sometimes, I would drive, go to the dispo, smoke up, go for a walk, you know what I mean? Then get my car and drive into the sauna. Sometimes I would just be sitting there just cooked, but I'm not doing that anymore, and I'm very grateful about that. And thinking about how these school buses would mean a lot more to me. If I was smoking weed, I'm surrounded by school buses, and that's legitimate. They would mean a lot more to me if I was smoking weed right now. Same with the stories and the concepts. Maybe I would have the energy and motivation to write something or actually get somewhere with this idea. But Gemini, please help me out. Observe my thinking, how sparse it is, how fragmented it is. Please help me clarify my ideas simply. Please help explain and come to understand with me my thinking and my objectives in this video, and thinking bigger and going further. Help me understand how I can make this video come to life. I have so many visions. Thinking now, if like there was a bird eye view over top of us, it would be in this parking lot at this late in this hour. Bang, school buses, bang, school buses. It's like, that's a cool shot. And it's like the story. I'm just thinking about all these shots that could take place around and on the grounds of the West End Rec Center in Guelph, Ontario, Canada. So with the Google satellite maps, with all of the LiDAR technology information, Google Earth images, etc. you can come up with, please help me storyboard somebody who's high and very creative, who absolutely loves spending their leisure time at the public West End Rec Center, community rec center, on foot, walking around on the grounds, who's thinking all these systematic thoughts about landscape architecture and landscape design, and about this like series. Like, I'm thinking it's like a series on YouTube that I want to release it on. And of course, it would be my first big one, but help me storyboard, help me visualize with drawings, frame by frame, and with writing, and in the perspective of the director notes. You can take inspiration from Quentin Tarantino. You can take inspiration from the movie The Graduate. I need to have the director notes, the screenwriter notes, and frame by frame drawings of scenes of this series that takes place here at the West End Rec Center. The themes are landscape architecture, revolutionizing landscape design, futuristic thinking, public health, mental health, sauna, swimming, leisure time, open thinking, conversation, connection, interaction, and storytelling. Observing is the big one. A lot to do with observing. Like I said, again, I'm the bookmark, and I see all these individuals who I would love to call characters. If they would be so kind to accept my invitation. How do I ask them? They would just say, you're gonna just say no. They can just say no. But at the same time, I want to treat this like a business. I'm a businessman, and invite them to be open to a documenting process, an interviewing process, as they would be, you know what I mean, topics and characters in the script of the movie. And whether or not there's a revenue, I'm not sure. But the promise, I can't make any promises. I'm not sure what to guarantee. I'm not sure timeline, I'm not sure deadline, I'm not sure schedules. But this is like the project of the summer for me. And into the fall possibly. Certainly. And would love to shoot a series of scenes that spans 60 minutes in length long. Would love help, suggestions, and resources to help me achieve this goal, and writing on paper first as a guideline and a blueprint for steps in which to go about making this a reality.